Our Catholic schools and our understanding of education really as the church is to open young people's minds and hearts to beauty, the truth, the goodness, to expose them to that and create a love for learning within our young people.
We want these students to be so touched by their experience that it's something that they want to work toward in their life and to embrace and to ensure for future generations. We grew up at a wonderful home filled with love and lots of fun. My parents instilled in us the value of course, our faith as our foundation and a strong work ethic. You know, we were not to take anything for granted.
My parents were great role models. What was important to them was faith in family. And in the way they lived their lives, it was clearly manifest through that.
Mom and Dad's impact on our family was just so amazing. Any marriage really is a team. Dad led it in a very vocal and physical way, meaning he would lead us through, take us by the hand when we were young. Mom was a lot more gentle. She was somebody who would have us do things not because we were forced to do it, but because we felt her love and we knew that we should do it.
We just had a very loving, kind of idyllic, truly childhood. And obviously our family was touched later by tragedy. My sister Amy, when she was 23, was coming out of a party on Halloween and was shot. Not even 3 years later, another sister, Trisha, was also 23 at the time and hit by a drunk driver. And both of my sisters eventually succumbed to their injuries from those incidents. But I think what is so remarkable about my parents is that even in the face of all the chaos, there was a strong inner peace and a knowledge in our family that we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be each other's strength, and that is all rooted in Christ and in our faith.
The Thompson family, I think it's in their DNA to be generous and supportive. Byron Thompson created this culture within his family, and it's beautiful. You can read the last article. He was the editor of the newspaper at Benedictine College. In his closing article, he was challenging his classmates to really live their faith. And he certainly did that in his professional life. And he's passed this on to his children and out to his grandchildren to be generous in their support of others, the poor, the needy, but especially the church. He saw the church, his Catholic faith, as the foundation of his life.
Byron and I had the opportunity to work with about 11 years. And, I'd describe him in 3 words: ethics, morals, principles.
The Thompson family, and especially Byron, were very humble people. They didn't want to get credit for all the great things they did in this community, but you couldn't avoid seeing the impact they were making in this community. Giving back, being charitable, being engaged, being in community.
They're committed to their community, whether it's the Catholic community or the Kansas City community or the education community. And I think with every dollar and every commitment that they made, it was to make the world a better place.
Catholic education is important because it really is kind of a true north, if you will, spirituality. To have an education without the spiritual aspect of that is to leave a gaping hole in someone's total education. My father wrote that in his last editorial at Benedictine. He said, you could be brilliant in all these other ways, but if you don't have an understanding and faith in God, then you've really missed it, if you will.
Supporting organizations, and especially, Catholic Education Foundation, to be able to send more kids in our community to Catholic school that have that desire, that want. Being able to assist them with that is something that fits into our family's value system, because it's something that's so ingrained within us. And if we experienced it, we've seen the results of that. We know how important that faith foundation is, we want others to experience that as well.
Before CEF scholarships, we had a limited availability to funds to help families. Their generous donations are helping change families, helping change students, and ultimately helping change the world one child at a time.
But without the Thompsons, frankly, and people like them and what CF does, sadly, I'd say there'd be several of our schools that would be closed by now. Really, these scholarships make these schools viable. And not just those that receive the scholarships, but others that go to those schools wouldn't have that opportunity if it weren't for the Thompsons.
The future generation is currently in our building, and they are the future of our church, and they're the future of our world. Byron Thompson was known to say that today's students are tomorrow's leaders, and we are building a faith-filled generation for years to come, and that is with the help of the CEF donations.
My parents would be so excited to be here in the walls of Holy Cross School. I mean, they would see the joy and they would see the excitement and they would see it all with such gratitude in their hearts for the joy of the love of Christ.
Gaudeamus means let us rejoice. And so we rejoice with the success that these kids are having because of the Catholic Education Foundation. If it wasn't for them, where would these kids be?
Congratulations to all of the Thompson family. Thank you for your support of the Catholic Education Foundation.